Hashanah Tova, everyone. I am very happy to see everybody here and moving the mics. I was told to do that. How's that? Can you hear me? So back in the spring, our daughter called me to share some deeply upsetting news. A friend of hers' mother had passed away from a long battle with cancer. In that moment, she expressed her sorrow and confusion for the unfairness of life. Why did her friend, still in school, have to endure such a devastating news? How could it be that his mother would not witness his graduation and celebrate the milestones of his life with him? This sparked, obviously, a meaningful discussion between my daughter and me about harsh realities of the world we live in. But it also led her to wonder, how could she help her friend? How could she help him navigate his grief? What words of comfort would she be able to offer? She quickly realized that she couldn't shoulder the burden alone, so she set out to build a supportive network of friends around him. Without explicitly referencing her Jewish values and her heritage that she gained here at Adat Shalom, she orchestrated others to visit her friend, encouraged them to keep everything low-key. She asked them to meet him for coffee, study with him, meet him for a meal, just spend time with him. Her message was clear to her friends. She said, act spontaneously, without asking permission, and don't wait for the right time. By doing so, she created a community that would uplift him and help restore his strength during this painful time. Soon after our discussion, she called me excited and asked me to listen to a song that her and her friend had been listening to called The Architect by Casey Musgrave. She asked me to listen, and I thought it would be a good idea to share those poignant words with you today. It starts like this. Even something as small as an apple, it's simple and somehow complex. Sweet and divine, the perfect design, can I speak with the architect? And there's a canyon that cuts through the desert. Did it get there because of a flood? Was it devised? Are you surprised when you saw how grand it was? Was it thought out at all or just paint on a wall? Is there anything that you regret? I don't understand. Are there blueprints or plans? Can I speak with the architect? What our daughter did for her friend was nothing short of being an architect. Her act of compassion reminded us of the power we hold to make a difference in each other's lives. As I reflect on this experience through my lens of the president of this congregation, I find myself wondering if there is an architect at work in our community. Who do we allow to shape our world, to create our dreams, to guide our direction? Is it you? Is it me? And if we are the ones, are we prepared to do the job? Are we willing to make it a priority and recognize that our role in this congregation's existence and growth? Do we wonder what its tomorrow will be like? And do we help implement change for the betterment of our congregation? Do we shape our dreams for one another? This year, our world was shocked by the horrific news of October 7th. The event set off a wave for many of us of widespread concern for security, raising questions of faith and humanity, as well as a very real concern for individuals, our brothers and sisters who we may never have met. It was an experience we felt both unbelievable and deeply unfair. And unfortunately, 1 year later, we hold some of the same concerns and uncertainty. Did our community rally to support one another and to support Israel with the same passion that my daughter displayed as she rallied her friends? Did we lean on our Jewish values and traditions to find guidance in the midst of the chaos? That day and others that followed, many of us came here to be with each other's company, seeking community and connection. When the community at large asked us to support Israel, we stepped up. When Adat Shalom asked us to support with additional security monies, we stepped up. When the rules and procedures changed, we agreed for the security of all of us. We learned about members who had family in Israel, sons and daughters, grandchildren, many of who went to serve at their units. And that news brought the fear and the concern closer to home. We all felt the anguish and concern for our homeland and for those held hostages, the hostages and for their families. The loss we felt that day and the days that followed became a communal loss. And as we listened to the news unfold, I felt grateful for this community as we could lean on each other, for people we could talk to about what was happening and share our concerns. Many of you did the same thing, reaching out to each other and to our rabbi for support. While we may not agree on how to understand all that has happened or how to reach out and how to help, we can agree that this community gave us strength. Again, I want to read you from the lyrics of that song. Sometimes when I look in the mirror, I wish I could make a request. I wish I could make a request. Can I pray it away? Am I shapeable clay? Or is this as good as it gets? Does it happen by chance? Is this happenstance? Is it too late to make some more space? Can I speak with the architect? This song made me think about how grateful I am for the architects of this community that laid the foundations of Adat Shalom 75 years ago. I'm not only talking about the people that hammered nails or drew the blueprints for this beautiful sanctuary. I'm talking about the people in our synagogue community who had vision and caring, and with financial support and commitment, they literally laid the foundation that we stand on today. These are our builders, our very own architects. They held leadership roles, presidents, officers, board members, committee leaders, and many who stayed involved for many years. They are responsible for building the infrastructure to support the operations and missions of our community, and they gave us the tools to continue to move the synagogue into future generations. At Adat Shalom, there are other architects. There are those who design and create the ritual lives of our community, our rabbi, our cantor, our lay leaders, who skillfully, with their use of their time, their expertise, and their experience, taking on critical roles, make our prayer services and our festivals meaningful. They reinforce our community, creating a space where we can come together to pray, to hope, and to dream. And we have architects who build the support for our souls. They acts in small and very large ways. There are members who support our community during joyful times and sad times. They embody compassion, be it a phone call, a home-cooked meal, attending a shiva, remembering a birthday. They are the builders of human connection. And many of you help build in other ways. Some of you hold the rich history of Adat Shalom in your heart. Some have brought children and still are bringing children to our religious school. Pack Purim baskets, prepare Passover meals for survivors, volunteer to make a community Shabbat dinner, construct the sukkah, volunteer to help in our office, cheer on our softball team, spend an extra few minutes at Kiddush connecting with a fellow member or greeting a newcomer. And many of you support financially in small and larger donations, all of which are critical to ensure that we continue to build our Jewish future here. And the song ends, "This life that we make, is it random or fate? Can I speak with the architect? Is there an architect?" Well, Adat Shalom, I have good news for you. Each and every one of you can be that architect in the new year. In the coming year, you will undoubtedly be asked to support this congregation and our connection to Israel in various ways. I hope that while you tend to your own family's blueprints, you make Adat Shalom part of that plan. Consider increasing your support to our community and to our future. I have dreams of a very bright future for Adat Shalom, and I know I am not alone. My sincerest hope is that every one of you joins me in dreaming and making the changes and improvements as we build together. And my challenge for you today, and I hope you'll accept it, is that we don't walk into High Holidays next year merely to ask, can I speak to the architect? Instead, I hope that you will step into this room as one of those architects for the year 5785. I hope that you will say, I am an architect, and how can I help Adat Shalom? In the coming year, I hope that you will support our dreams, and more importantly, become a dreamer with us as we continue to work to build our Jewish future. Shana Tova.